Hey guys, I only got a short one for you tonight. Got the single plane from my buddy. He didn't tell me how much of his info to release, so I'm not going to say his name right now. But I will next video, I'm sure, when he gets back to me. It's really in quite good shape. Yeah, it had a little rust on it. I actually had to sand the top of the gasket face where the carb would bolt just to make the clay stick. But I don't know if you guys can see in there. Let me grab a little extra light. It's an interesting design. Let me zoom this in a little bit for you. I don't know if you guys can see in there. But this has a long vein here, and then these runners are back here where they start. Reminds me of a lot of an Edelbrock Torque 2, which I never liked. I think I had one once. I gave it to somebody I didn't like, something like that. You know. I'm kidding. I cracked myself up, though. It was definitely a giveaway manifold as far as I'm concerned. It didn't do anything as good as a dual plane as far as I'm concerned, especially after you do a little work to the dual plane. So let's see where this thing started. Obviously, it should be way better as far as mass flow versus the dual plane, where the dual plane started. I mean, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but the upper H was like 135 and the lower H was 154. But I was missing this plug on that. So the 154 is probably not even close to being accurate. So in any case, I'm sure this started way less than the single plane as far as CFM. And the dual plane is way, way heavier than the single plane. Just FYI. Okay, this is what we got. Check out the swirl curve. Dead, 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 dead. 400, you start to shear off the short side radius a little bit, and we start to get some swirl. Believe it or not, that really is not a bad swirl pattern. I actually was expecting more CFM out of this bone stock. Now, I do have to be careful with this because the way it's shaped, I don't know if I can get to 100% of this runner. So that's something to think about if you're going to modify it. For all the purists, guess what? This plenum's going to look an awful like this plenum. You know why? Because it's the same bolt pattern. I'd be able to use my special Venturi carb spacer on it. There's a couple guys saying they can make one with their computer. I forget what they call it. If you have such a thing, email me and I'll give you the measurements of what I'm thinking of. If not, I will do a video on the measurements pretty soon. I actually do want to get to one port. I think I'm only going to flow one port of this stock, and I want to get right to it and see what kind of a gain we can get as far as airflow out of this. All right, guys, only a short one tonight. I hear Mama's home because the dogs are barking. Have a good night. Thanks.